Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Our Lives official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Leo's exigency, Paulina's terrible news, Eric's wedding ring. Days of Our Lives, DOOL, spoilers recap for Wednesday, June 12th, reveals that Dr. Mark Green, Jonah Robinson, was out for a run and asked Leo Stark, Greg Ricard, for a favor in the city forecourt. Since Mark forgot his water bottle, he asked if he could have Leo's glass of water on the table. Leo agreed and sounded relatively interested in shirtless Mark as he revealed that water on his casket while gulping it down. After Leo mentioned that he wanted to put himself back out there after a bifurcation, he asked if Mark wanted to get regale eventually. Mark was flattered, but he admitted he was gay and eventually took off. Leo sounded surprised to have gotten that wrong and wound up in Marlena Evans, Deidre Hall, office latterly for an exigency session. Although Leo claimed to suppose he was fabulous, he also admitted his precariousness and suggested he was miserable most of the time. Leo felt unlovable and prayed Marlena to be his therapist, so Marlena agreed to help him with further sessions. That lifted Leo's spirits and left him induced they'd be a great platoon. Johnny DiMera, Carson Boatman, also stopped by Marlena's office at one point and came clean about his job offer in Los Angeles, so Marlena pushed him to be honest with Chanel DiMera, Raven Bowens, about it soon. At the DiMera manse on Wednesday's day's occasion, EJ DiMera, Dan Feuereagle, exalted to Jude DiMera aka Jude Brady, Oliver McClarty, about a negative composition in The Spectator regarding Paulina Price, Jackie Harry. When Chanel caught EJ principally celebrating Paulina's downfall, she called him out. EJ acted like he was simply outraged on behalf of Chanel and his future grandchild due to the radiation exposure. Chanel claimed everything was fine with the baby's test results so far, but she had a follow-up appointment moment. EJ refocused out that there were still options if effects didn't go well at that appointment, but Chanel snapped that she was keeping this baby. Subsequently on Wednesday's day's occasion, Chanel met up with Johnny at the sanitarium and briefly complained about EJ's jest. Still, Chanel acted like it wasn't worth getting worried over and suggested Johnny should let it go, too. Johnny mentioned having commodity he wanted to talk to Chanel about, but they were intruded by Dr. Mark Green's appearance since he was filling in for Kayla Johnson, Mary Beth Evans. Chanel asked if Dr. Green was related to Felicity Green, Kennedy Garcia, so he admitted that was his family and said she talked about Chanel all the time. After Dr. Green examined Chanel, he suggested everything looked good. They would have to stay for the coming round of test results to be sure, but Dr. Green sounded auspicious about everything. Once Dr. Green handed over his card, Chanel and Johnny realized he participated a name with Dr. Mark Green from ER. After Johnny was alone with Chanel again, she pushed him to get back to what he wanted to tell her before. Johnny asked how Chanel would feel about leaving Salem, so she looked taken suddenly. At home on Wednesday's day's occasion, Paulina had an agony related to her radiation. Abe Carver, James Reynolds, quizzed Paulina about her recreating dream where she was freakishly altitudinous and spooking the city. Although Abe wanted to take Paulina for a visit with Marlena, Paulina didn't need a shrink to tell her that she was feeling shamefaced about putting Chanel, her future baby and others at threat. Abe ultimately got an unsettling phone call and gave Paulina updates on someone filing a solicitation to recall her as Salem's mayor. Once Paulina and Abe did some digging to find out who was responsible, Paulina wasn't surprised by the malefactor. Back with EJ, he got good news from Rita, Maggie Carney, over the phone and celebrated his solicitation moving forward. Coming on Wednesday's DOL show, Roman Brady, Josh Taylor, prompted Eric Brady, Greg Vaughn, to get down from the pain of his apartment and move back to his room above the cantina. For a while, Eric decided that was a good plan and said Roman had given him another idea. Since Eric was ready to move on, he wound up at the DiMera manse and asked EJ to help him get a divorce from Sloane Peterson, Jessica Surfety. EJ agreed to serve as Eric's counsel and refocused out there was a way around Sloane's absence. All Eric had to do was put a notice in the Spectator once a week for many weeks, and if he still didn't hear from Sloane, he could move forward with divorce proceedings. Eric also had to prove he'd made a reasonable trouble to track Sloane down, but EJ didn't suppose that'd be a problem since the Bobbies had an APB out on her. Once Eric met back over with Roman at the cantina. Latterly, he took off his marriage ring. Days of Our Lives spoilers say Eric will keep trying to pick up the pieces of his fractured life, so we'll bring you more prognostications on his challenges along the way. Eli and Lonnie return for Abe and Paulina's anniversary. Lamont Archie and Sal Stowers come back. Days of Our Lives, DOOL. Spoilers reveal that Eli Grant, Lamont Archie, and Lonnie Price Grant, Sal Stowers, will be heading back to Salem soon. The week of June 17, 21 will put Eli and Lonnie on oil again for a veritably special festivity. Since Abe Carver, James Reynolds, and Paulina Price's, Jackie Harry, marriage anniversary is coming up, they'll have a small party in honor of it. Day spoilers allude that Paulina and Abe will renew their promises, so Lonnie and Eli won't want to miss all the fun. Of course, there'll presumably be some moping issues between Paulina and Chanel DiMera, Raven Bowens, so perhaps Lonnie can help her mama and family move past them. Lonnie will clearly want to put a stop to any pressure that's developed while she's been gone. Once Lonnie gets updates on all the gestation drama and the threat radioactive Paulina posed to Chanel's future child, Day spoilers suggest she'll understand both sides. Lonnie will surely get what it's like to worry about baby complications due to her own medical history, but she'll also know Paulina would no way do anything to designedly beget detriment. In fact, Day's observers recall that Paulina saved Chanel out of love and concern, so Lonnie will understand that, too. By also, it looks like Chanel will plan on leaving city with Johnny DiMera, Carson Boatman, for his new job offer, but will Lonnie change her mind? It's easy to imagine Lonnie pushing Chanel to ask herself some tough questions. Lonnie might wonder if Chanel is trying to run down from Paulina on some position and prompt her to rethink whether she really wants to make this move. Meanwhile, Eli might have a converse with Johnny and admit that it's important to be on the same runner. Lonnie was willing to immolate a life in Salem and move down for Eli's career, but Eli may push Johnny to be certain Chanel is 100% on board. It's possible Johnny will have a change of heart and tell Chanel that they should stick around Salem after all, especially since she'll hate to leave her thriving bakery. Whatever the case, it'll be nice to see Sal Stowers back as Lonnie Price Grant and Lamont Archie back as Eli Grant. You can go. Paulina and Abe will give them both a warm welcome home on June 19, so DOOL suckers will want to stay tuned for Eli and Lonnie's common return. Days of Our Lives spoilers say Lonnie and Eli will celebrate as well as offer up some pivotal advice, so we'll bring you prognostications on all the family drama and any big news that's on the horizon. Newest family has overgrown once again, but who are their parents? And also there were three. First, Days of Our Lives introduced us to Tate's friend, Erin Green, also the freshman's little sis, and bakery fave, Felicity. And now, as of Wednesday, June 12, we now met their big family, Dr. Mark Green, yes, just Anthony Edwards' ER character, after a run heft with Leo and a scan with Chanel and Johnny. From a job perspective,